Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a Muichiro Center by me. So let's get into it. The two of you have been together for as long as you could remember now. And things were, well, they were strange. Once you got married, Muichiro was serious about your relationship, and that was something that you were extremely glad for and happy about, no matter how anxious it made you be sometimes. After all, you were childhood lovers, and you had grown together and you were comfortable with one another. And him taking things seriously made you comfortable with this. As nervous as it made you be, to actually feel the responsibility of having a family like this. But soon, there would be an addition to your family. And the day that he found out was the happiest day in his life. Besides the day he got married to you, of course, and the day he met you. When you told him the news, he was overjoyed, kissing you and twirling you around. I can't believe it, Ryan. We, we're gonna have a family, a child, both me and you. We're going to leave someone in this world, he said softly, pulling up a little bit. He can't help it. He's quite excited, and if you were to be honest, you were as well. And slowly, things started to progress. And he actually surprised you with how well read he was, until you actually learned that he'd been reading a lot ever since he knew about the news of your pregnancy. It impressed you even more than the fact that he loved you so much and was willing to do so much for you and his future child. It made your heart melt like jelly, but you would never tell him that. You would be too embarrassed. Either way, you were happy with what you had with him. Sometimes he fussed over you too much, and though during times you would be slightly annoyed, you were happy because you knew he cared about you, and you knew where all of that came from. He worried about you. He didn't want you to exhaust yourself or to do something dangerous. He loved you, and that's where all his worries are coming from. Come on, Moyan. You can rest. I'll clean. And I'll fold the clothes too. Just don't do anything right now. Darling, I'm only 3 months in. It's not like I'm going to explode if I move. Well, I worry about you, so please, listen to me. If not because you're worried, then at least to put me at ease. I promise you, doing all these things is no trouble to me as long as I know that you're fine. And after discussing it for a really long time with him, he told you that you could busy yourself with the smaller tasks around the house, while he would take care of the bigger ones. And that way, you could feel like you're being productive and not being lazy. And you would do most of the things that could be exhausting for you and the baby. You loved him. The amount of care he put into everything. He would even cook most of the days. He didn't want you in the kitchen too much. It was exhausting. That's what he told you. Even though at times it could be fun. He would have you join him for the easy stuff. But for the most part, he cooked, and he made sure to read the cookbook and try to pick the healthiest foods for your pregnancy. He was sweet about everything, and there was care in every little act that he made. Oh, Muichiro, I love you, he told him one night, as the two of you sat down on the couch, curled up in each other's arms, while I told you about possible names for the baby, asking you about what name you wanted, and the two of you chatted about it. And by the end, he was staring at you with love and adoration in his eyes, and his hand gently went to your belly, tracing the bump where his child lied. You know, I still can't believe it sometimes that this is real, that we are, that I'm gonna have. I know, I know, Michiro. And honestly, me too at times. It feels weird and strange, but I'm happy. And I can tell you are too. You murmur softly, your hand going to cup his cheek, caressing it gently with your thumb. And as he smiled at you, he leaned his head down against your belly and closed his eyes, and you received a kick to the face. He was startled for a moment, and you found yourself giggling. Oh, the baby's kicking, Muichiro, you say with a soft laugh, and he looks weirded out at first, his eyes wide, and then he finds himself laughing along with you, joy all over his face. It was starting to feel more real. Your baby, your baby's alive. And maybe it did kick him and that was the first interaction between them. But he can't help but be happy about it. Seeing that small sign of life, and knowing that there would be more to come, a lot more to see, he couldn't help but be excited about it, and want to see more. Sometimes, when he would fall asleep, he would still stay up, unable to sleep from his racing thoughts about how life would be like once the baby was born. He had his own worries and insecurities. He had many things to think about, but most of the time with you by his side, the thoughts were positive. And then he would lean down right next to where your stomach was and talk to the baby as if your baby would understand him. You know, your mother is working real hard. She's doing everything she can for the both of us. So, don't tire her out. Don't exhaust her, okay? Take care of your mom for me. He would tell the baby, and sometimes you would hear him. Sometimes he would talk about totally unrelated things, or things he wanted to do when he became a father. And honestly, you could hear it sometimes. Your eyes closed as if you were sleeping, but you heard it all the same. And that's when you knew that your child, be it a boy or a girl, they were going to have an amazing father. And hopefully, an amazing mother as well.